All right, welcome. We back at it. All right. This is the special edition, okay? Episode 7. I have a special guest. It's a great friend of mine, all right? Michelle. Say what's up to the people.
What's up?
Most definitely. So, hey, she's very lovely. And this episode, y'all are actually going to get to know her a lot more. So, real quick, hey, I always like to start. Where you from? Let the people know.
Well, I'm from DC, grew up in Maryland.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. All right. Cool. High school you go to? Is that okay? High Point? Okay.
Graduated from Beltsville, Maryland.
Beltsville Highsville is in Beltsville. Y'all know the High Point Eagles.
Yes.
They're the Eagles,
Yes.
yeah. I'm a Suitland Ram, so we used to. Do y'all remember those high school rivalries with y'all and us? Maybe it was a
Yes.
little. Who was our rival? Was Parkdale, I think. But we used to have fun playing because y'all had the lights. Y'all had the only team, I think, in that 4A PG County that had the lights and Eleanor Roosevelt.
Right.
So
No, our biggest rival was Northwestern.
Northwestern. That sounds
Yes.
about right.
That was the biggest
Oh man, I remember those days. Sometimes I want to go back. When you get the adult and you want to go back.
rival.
So real quick, so hold on. So speaking of adulting, okay, now you are an entrepreneur,
Yes.
which I admire you. When I first met you, I told you I admire you for that. How long have you been an entrepreneur, working for yourself and owning your own business?
Officially, it's been since 2019.
Okay, all right, that's cool. We're going on. So by 2029, that's a 10-year anniversary is coming up. Okay,
Yeah.
and I can't wait for that. That's most definitely that's great. So now Q&A is the name of your company. Go ahead, explain. I think you can explain a lot better. Q&As.
Q&A, it actually came out of like a joke kind of for naming, given the name and everything. I was talking to my daughter about it and I was like, "Oh, I need a name for the company." And she was like, Q&A, and it actually meant because her dogs' names are Queenie and Ace.
Okay.
So that's how we came up with Q&A. Even though I keep trying to tell her I'm gonna change it, but she's like, "Mom, no, you can't change it."
Right now, yeah, I mean, it's been doing you good. You've been going rocking and rolling this long, so we can. And then your daughter kind of feel like she got a little piece of it.
Yes, yes.
So
She has to say so in it.
I
So
guess that's why you became an entrepreneur, so you can have, your jobs. You worked a regular nine to
I
five
did.
job
I
before,
did.
and you can't take your kids to go get a job. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? They gotta apply just like everybody else.
Yep.
Maybe if you even want to go to another part of the country, you gotta reapply again. So
Yep.
you having your own company, that's kind of, it's not only that's not only financial freedom, but it's longevity. A lot of
Yeah.
us African Americans, we didn't leave a lot of things. My parents ain't leave, and they didn't know no better. Their parents ain't really leave them nothing. And so on. We got a few black parents that do, but a lot of definitely Indian culture, white culture, they do it. So, and that's why I love entrepreneurs because we actually can leave something. You
Mhm.
can leave that legacy. Now, guess what? I know people that took over houses and took over, things, and they ain't keep up with them the way your parent,
You're supposed to.
or parents, kept up with stuff more than when they gave it to the kids. It kind of fell to crap. But at least you had your best foot forward, and you actually had them in mind. Same thing with my son. I love it. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. So now you we'll get back to your entrepreneurship and the type of business you do. I want to talk about the voiceover because you are actually one of my proteges.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we actually shot with Michelle actually, and we showed you on Truth Teller. This is sponsored by Truth Teller Network. Well, this is the Truth Teller Network. All right, we're powered by Truth Teller Network, and she's a part of Truth Teller Network. Case
Yeah.
in point, her and our producer skills. We always in the studio. If you saw it on Instagram, we had a post about showing just kind of the ins and outs of voiceover and just what people don't know. Every time you hear a voice on TV or on the radio, somebody got paid for that.
You've always dreamed of having rental income, but buying a rental property? Well, that's a tall order. Capitalize on the space in your own home instead. Rent out that spare bedroom with ease with Renting Rooms Realty. Through Renting Rooms Realty, you can earn your landlord license and connect with local landlords in your area to help you vet prospective tenants. We're empowering the everyday homeowner to become an extraordinary landlord. Visit rentingroomsrealty.com for more information.
Definitely your best take.
Real quick, I noticed your talent. I know a lot of other people noticed your talent. When was your first real compliment you think somebody complimented your voice to kind of give you that confidence?
I'm gonna say mine was back when I was a teenager. And back in my day, that's when we had the voicemails and then you had the greetings into your into the voicemail, or before you answered the phone, you had those ringtones and everything that you could record. And so I did a couple just for my own self for my phone. And so many people's like, oh my gosh, your voice is so great. Oh my gosh, make me one, make me one. So I guess you can say I started my entrepreneurship then because I started charging people
to make their voice. No,
to
and
make their voice.
no, you can still do that. No, so you've been a voiceover for a while then now that I didn't even know. Like that's those, you have that soothing voice for companies.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Certain things, when you dial, when you get an operator all the time.
Yeah.
I guess somebody got paid for that. You don't want to talk to that. You want to talk to a real person. Somebody got paid for those automated.
Yeah.
So no, that's
Yeah.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. Actually, I'll just real quick, this about you, but real quick, and we was talking about it. My first time, I was actually working. I'm an optician, so I'm, doing a lot of optical work, and I was talking, I get answer the phone, so I was like, I love your voice.
Mhm.
And they called me in for, they were doing a cartoon. They thought my voice would be good for one of, deep, groggy. So no, that's
Yeah.
good, man. And that's what really turned me on to, the voiceover world. So,
Mine was that, and also always wanted to do the metro. The doors are
the
opening.
doors are opening.
Yes, I always wanted to do that. And when they did the open auditions, I missed it. So I wasn't able to get into it, but
I
yeah,
definitely think you would have got it. No, but she's actually great. That person who
she
does,
is.
so, and it's a lot of talented voiceover artists. And then you pick up stuff. You'll know it was we get into the business. Teach you things, and you gonna
Yeah,
learn stuff too.
yeah,
That a lot of people you'll get a lot of tools from a lot of people,
yeah.
and it's a lot of great voiceover artists. And if you kind of want to stick next to them and kind of
Oh yeah, oh
pick
yeah,
their brain a lot. So
definitely,
that's great.
definitely.
You also now, real quick, since you're kind of not the first. A lot of people's work with us, but far as with my voiceover, you're my first voiceover protege that
Hmm.
actually came to Tella Network, our studio, our in-house studio. How was it working with us, if you don't mind me asking? I think the people want to know.
It's been great. It's actually they're knowledgeable. I've learned a lot, giving me a lot of tips, a lot of things to try out, lot of different things to do, and how to get myself set up to do more of the voiceover and everything. But it's been great. I'm enjoying it. I'm
So
enjoying it.
from start to finish, I mean, from when we first planned to get you in studio, all out, because this is really your third time, I
Yeah,
think, coming
yeah.
right. So, she's done photo shoots with us. She does. So if you want to know anything, or if you want to get, a a client, testimony, so to speak, you can go to Michelle and she'll tell you, we try to pride ourselves on being professional. And like I really want to ask you the question from start to finish, like even after, like, were you amazed? Like, because we take pride in that. We know people don't deliver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not maybe because they don't want to, it's just sometimes they don't have the infrastructure to do it, mentally, physically, whatever.
Yeah.
But like all in all, I'm talking about like through from beginning to end, even after you get your photos and after you get like, how was the whole overall experience? Were you happy?
Again, all of that is great. I'm very happy that even just the turnover, they say you'll get it within a day or two, and you're like, yeah, okay, a day or two, like, okay, and you get them in a day or two, and that was delivered on
3
time.
days maybe tops, but
But still, it was like before I expected it to come in there because I was like, oh, it's probably going to be a week or two. I've gone and done other photo shoots, and it's like I have to be like, hey, are my pictures ready yet?
Mm.
Hey. And then all I knew from here is my pictures started popping up like, here you go, here you go. And I was like, wow, okay, thank you. Thank you.
no, we appreciate that. And I just want people to, we take pride in our work, and it's not just the beginning from start to finish. You know what I mean? It's like right now, I'm gonna call you out doing, hey, how was it? How you, I
Right.
love, man,
Right.
just check on you. So
Right.
now that's good. So I appreciate. So you love working with Truth Telling Network.
I do. I do. I do.
And how was your photo shoot with
My
Skills of
photo
Truth
shoot
Telling?
was
Did you
the
love it?
best.
She's a model, really. She really needs to, you know what I mean? So, and if y'all need photo shoots, if y'all need headshots or anything like that, again, she's a great testimony. We can get all that going for you. And I think we want to get the kids for your moment in
Yeah.
time and capture. Y'all gotta capture pictures because it's like nothing is promised to us, y'all.
That's right.
Nothing. So, it's good to have those memories. And guess what? When the time comes, you're gonna be really appreciative of it. So,
Yeah.
but how was I mean, you know how I am for sure. How was your photo shoot? We talk about the voice, but how was your photo shoot though?
Yeah, the photo shoot was great. I am looking at trying to get my kids and my grandbaby in here, but I got grown kids. So when I mentioned, hey, I want to do a family shoot, they're looking at each other like,
Mm.
good luck. So, but yes, I would definitely use him for that. And then I normally like to do birthday photo shoots. So I probably will use him for my birthday photo shoots as well.
Definitely, yeah. Skills would definitely love that. All right, hey, so let's get back to entrepreneurship. All right, entrepreneurship versus working a 9 to 5. Your thoughts?
Now, so back then, 9 to 5 was all I knew because that's the way I was raised. You go to work, You put away money for retirement, and that's that. But now that I have been doing this on my own since 2019, it's like I can't go back to a 9 to 5. I can't be on anybody's clock. I move when I want. I move the way I want to. I set my schedule. If I gotta go to a doctor's appointment or I need to do something for the grandbaby or anybody else, it's like, okay, sure, I can do that. So 9 to 5 is great for those who love 9 to 5s. I'm not knocking it for anybody, but for me personally, a 9 to 5, I can't. I can't.
And I mean, and and that's versus, because you've been and you don't see yourself turning. Once you go on that other side, it's hard to go. It's hard to go back.
Yeah, yeah.
So why aren't more people in business for themselves? You think? I think it's fear.
I was about to say that because they're scared. I mean, because I did it through fear. I fought through fear. I cried many a nights of how I'm gonna do this. I got bills to pay. I got this going. I got that going.
Oh, but
And I was like, I can't do it. I rolled on the floor just like, and I prayed about it. And God said, I got you. And so here I am all these years later, and bills are still being paid. I shop, I travel, and I live a good life.
Mhm. And and that's the thing, like when you plant that seed, I got some tomato. I have tomatoes in my yard, right? It was dirt. It was
Mhm.
dirt.
Mhm.
It was dirt. We planted it, but guess what? It was still dirt. We didn't see it, but I knew it was coming.
Right.
I knew if I
Right.
nurtured it, it would come.
Yep.
And I had that confidence. And that's what it
Yep.
is. Sometimes it's the fear of the unknown. But guess what? Those tomatoes, I didn't see them. But
Yep.
guess what? The point I'm trying to make, you might not see it. Just because you don't see it, your family gonna be, where the money at? You doing all this, where the money? Where the bills? We need these bills paid. We need it's going, and that's that you going through the fire, so to
Yeah.
speak. And look,
Yeah.
you came out of platinum/diamond, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's
Yeah.
amazing. Very lucrative as well. Like I said, you've been doing this. You haven't been back for what, 7 years? So that's definitely amazing. So if you're fearing things, hey, it's nothing to fear but fear itself. And again, you're right. It's just that security or that safety net of having a job. And
Mhm.
but it's nothing like working for yourself. Trust me. For the past couple of months, I've been feeling it. I don't want to go back. You know what I mean? So I love what I'm doing. I just have more freedom and I just
Yeah.
feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't hustling, busting, trying to rush out to work every day, trying to be
Right.
like all of that.
Right.
No, you know what I mean? I might gotta get up and make sure stuff good. But anyway, man, so that's great. But fear, man, it's nothing to fear but fear. So if y'all go into business for yourselves, y'all, these robots taking all these jobs and everything. Anyway,
Yeah.
you might as well do it. And you sold yourself to the company, sell yourself to the masses. So that's just what it is. All right, name the pros and cons you've experienced in your industry. I know we kind of, but just probably want to know what kind of industry people want to know. What if you don't mind, I'm gonna let you say. Uh, and I will say that she has a lot of business going on right now. She did tell me she doesn't want to kind of take too many more clients right now. But just look for the people so they know what kind of business it is.
So I do bookkeeping, accounting, a little accounting, and I do payroll services. And then I can't even lump it into saying accounting because I do so much more for my clients as far as I've started up their businesses for them. I get their businesses organized. I've written handbooks for them. I've written policies, and I do so much more for them than just a regular accountant would do. I'm not just about your numbers. I know your numbers, I can handle your payroll, but I'm also making sure that you are going to grow and making sure that you're in the best place that you can be as my client.
No, that's perfect. That's a fact. No, that's good. That's good. And so actually, skills, go up a little bit for me real quick. I wanted to touch on something with her. Not only is she an entrepreneur and with Q&A, her business, but she's also getting started actually this year. Your ebook should be coming out. Can you explain
Yes.
kind of what the ebook's about?
So the ebook is pretty much it's going to be like a book that kind of gives you tips and give you checklists and give you different pointers for end of life. And I don't really like saying end of life because anything can happen to you today or tomorrow. But are you ready? Is your family ready? Do they know your wishes? Do they know your passwords? Do they know where your insurance policy is? Do they know who your insurance company is with and how much it is that they're supposed to get? So, I mean, you have to give that information to somebody that you trust. But that's important things that needs to happen.
Gotcha. No, that's perfect. What made you want to do an ebook?
Oh gosh. So the last event that really made me want to do it is because I've been around funerals and people have lost loved ones. This last one that happened, it really was like, okay, Michelle, this keeps getting thrown in your face and they keep asking you these things, or people are still asking the same questions, or they need help with this or they need help with that. So Why not just put it together in the ebook for them so that they have it already right there? So I
Perfect.
just want to help people when it comes down to that, because when it's somebody, your loved one passes away, you're not really thinking about those things. You're thinking more so of, oh my gosh, that person is gone. How am
You
I going to
grieving.
move on? You're grieving. So I was the person who was stepping in and taking over those responsibilities. So instead of me, I can't be at everybody's beck and call. So guess what? I want to help everybody be ready. I want to help
Gotcha.
them be prepared.
I preach this all the time. I preach it to myself. I try to stay on top of it. Preparation is key to success.
Yes.
Period. You know,
Yes.
you cannot do anything without prep. And this is a great way. And it's like you filling a void with this because you know everybody's grieving. You're taking that pressure off of them. I love it. I love it. We're gonna take a little intermission, but we'll be back. Michelle's great. All right, cool. So, and you know, you already kind of gave the listeners an overview of kind of what's inside the book and the
Yes.
tips. All right, so you do have tips in that book, right?
Yes.
All right, now y'all got to get this ebook, okay? All right, but can you remember one or two tips just to
Yes.
kind of get people a little bit excited about this book?
Yes. The biggest one is what you can do right now today. Okay. If you have a vehicle, it's called a transfer on death
Mm.
beneficiary notice. You can call motor vehicles or go online to motor vehicles and you can fill out there. It's called a TOD, transfer on death. You fill that form out. That way, whoever you're going to give your car to, they don't have to go to court. They don't have to pay no legal fees. They don't have to pay anything. When that person passes away, that car is automatically yours. The title gets transferred over to you. Everything is yours. They also have the same thing for real estate. So if you own a house or anything like that, it's also called transfer of death. You get that, fill that out. The deed will go to that person that you named in that form. Now they have two different ones though for real estate. One, if it's a debt on that mortgage and on that house or that property, you're going to inherit that debt. But there's another form that they have that is filled in. I can't remember the exact name of that form, but it's still transfer of death. It still will be your property, but it will wipe that debt clean.
Transfer of death,
Yeah.
people. That's what you want to do before someone
POD.
passed. So if I wanted to do that now. If I wanted my son to have my house and my transfer of death, I would
Yep.
have to fill that out right now.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So my well, I've already done it with my vehicles. All my vehicles already are going to go to somebody.
Okay. No, that's dope.
So it's already on file. Motor vehicle already knows.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So, well, before you went into business for yourself, you worked a few jobs and stuff. So now you know me. Shout out to my Washington Commanders. You know what I mean? She is a home team queen. You know, you talking to the home team king, and I gotta bring a little bit of sports in it now, real quick. You worked at the stadium.
I did for a
Well,
little bit.
Northwest now
Northwest
FedEx.
Stadium.
Yeah, and you're a
Yeah.
Commander fan. You love the
I
Commanders,
am.
right?
I am a Commander fan. Yeah. Hometown.
Do you get why do let me ask you a question? Do you know why we have so many Cowboy fans in the area? Do you
I
know
don't know.
He left for the. Hey, look, Michelle. I think Michelle certifies this special. Hey, look, come home, y'all. We trying to turn the whole city burgundy and gold, man. Season 2 of the Live from the Field Show, best fast sports show in the world. We global. We will drop season 2. All right, this coming August. We're gonna go to the first Commander game. Hey, you got to join us this year at one of the. Come to my tailgate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We at D31. All right, you come down there. Get some food, we have drinks, all the party favors as well. And you come into the game with us, It's really a good time.
Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah, I get up there early sometimes. If it's a 1 o'clock game, we're usually there 10, 11 in the morning, so we can ride to the game. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing,
Son works there, so normally up early anyway because I gotta
There you go.
get
There you
him down the street to work. So
Do you have, just real quick, while I was just tapping a little bit because I love my command, I'm big on sports. Do you have any favorite player? If it's a Washington, and matter of fact, I can be any player, all sports. And shout out to the Wizards too. Shout out to baseball, football, hockey, all that. Do you have, anybody? It could have been Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, anybody. Is it a woman? Just name one player that kind of sticks out to you. If I was to say sports, what's the first name popping in your head?
Sean Taylor.
Hey, look. Rest in peace, all right, to the late, great Sean Taylor, Mr. Boom himself. That's my favorite player. I don't even wear any jerseys, other teams' jerseys. I stopped doing. I don't because me personally, it was just weird for me having another guy on my on my back. But I do have a Sean Taylor jersey that I wear all for the time. Even JD, I might get a JD joint too, just off GP. I might like hang it up, but I got to get another Sean. Jersey, I'm gonna get a Sean. And since you like Chantel, I got something. I got a present for you. I got something coming up for you. So
Okay.
definitely gotta get you Sean Taylor joint. Man, much love to Sean Taylor and all his family, man. Shout out to Gabe Taylor. He plays for the Defender. So anyway, just back to Michelle, okay? So, all right. You know what? Let's get a little personal a little bit. We talk, me and you have a personal relationship. We know each other. We're very good friends. And we talk about a lot of stuff, like just like I think we talked about trauma bonding, we talked about mental health and mental abuse and physical abuse. If and all both of it, everybody's been through it, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to come out and really talk about it. But do you have any advice to anybody who's dealing with mental or physical abuse? What would you say to them?
Get out.
Get out. You heard
I
it?
know that that's the easier said
I
than
know.
done because I've lived it, I've survived it. I'm still fighting through it. Um, but get out. I mean, it for your own sanity, for your own peace, for your own health, for your own life, and at least talk to somebody. I know that that's where I don't want to say went wrong with mine, but I was such a private person that nobody really knew what I was going through. Nobody knew what I was enduring at home. So I think if I would have spoke about it a little bit, then things might have been different. I can't say that it would have been different, but yes, if you're going through that, seek some help. Get in therapy, get you somebody who you trust that you can talk to, but get some help and get out of that. Get out of it.
Most definitely. So you heard that from us. I know a lot of times, a lot of people don't realize something like mental abuse is still something too. Like,
Mhm.
you ever, like, have you ever been with somebody and y'all not seeing eye to eye, but you live together? So y'all got
Mhm.
to be around each other. And it's like, and, it comes a bit of little animosity and that's mental abuse. If
Yes.
you're around somebody, you have to be and you're ignoring them or you're just being passive aggressive with them, that
Yes.
is a form of abuse. So, and I'm
Yes.
saying that to some people that don't understand that, now me, I have certain views on things just because as a guy, and as guys, we like to kind of roll everything on like we tough, but we go through emotional abuse
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
So I know dudes that go through physical abuse now. Like the tables are really, really turning with the ladies, but like far as with did you ever, like, far as with any mental abuse, just being honest, did you ever sometimes, hurt people hurt people? When you were hurt, did you hurt back too as
No.
well? Okay.
No. I never did that. That was one thing that I was never going to hurt anybody. That even though I was inside dying, I did not want to project that on anybody else. So that's why when I have shared my story about what I've survived, a lot of people look at me like, we never would have thought. Every time we've seen you, you're always smiling, you're laughing, you're this and you're that. And that's because I just learned how to deal with it. Learn to just keep rolling with it. And that's it.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
was never gonna hurt anybody else because that's what I was because that's what was being done to me. I'm never gonna do that.
How do you approach, because we talked about that relationship, me and you talk about how are you approaching relationships differently now, because you're healing and you don't want to go back to and that's the main thing when you get out of something, you don't want to go back to it. You know what I mean? Because like you mentally, you straight, your business is boom. You know what I'm saying? You're doing everything by like you don't need anything interrupting that.
Yep.
And we beat ourselves up when we are
Mm-mm.
doing what we got to do. We on the path, and then we go out our way to bring somebody, and then it's all it's a lot of self sabotage with us, really, with people. I think you know what I mean. A lot of things can be avoided, but anyway, I want to answer your question for you.
Well, I'm gonna
But
say now I'm a lot more selfish.
mm,
I'm very selfish with myself, my time, and whomever I decide to give my time to or do anything with. I'm very selfish and it's very intentional. Very intentional. But I look for now, I pay attention to red flags. I now pay attention to what I want and what I don't want from a person. I used to go out with a guy and he used to get so angry and it was like, yeah. And I was like, yep, I'm done. We're good. We're done. No more. So I left that alone because, yeah, I was like, I'm not going to go through that anymore. Or the time I found myself conforming to whatever that other person liked, I said, oh no, I'm not doing that again. So it's when I see little things in the beginning, I just, sorry, nope. I don't give chances, not that many chances.
Yeah, yeah. I'm real protective of my space too. I don't let
Mhm.
too many people get in. I mean, I can. We're cordial, but I don't really like. I don't even have. I have few friends that I talk to on a regular basis, but it takes a lot. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
everybody. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I still am apprehensive. And all of us, man, hurt people hurt people. Y'all gotta understand that too. And sometimes you're in a relationship when somebody was hurting, you gotta ask questions. Sometimes they're not gonna tell you,
Mhm.
but they have telltale signs. So, and sometimes you have to have grace with certain people as well. A lot of times we don't give a
Yeah.
lot of grace. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Well, men and women, you know what I mean. But
Yeah. It's the same.
grace, give people grace,
Grace and peace.
grace. That's all.
Because
That's
that
the
my peace is so important to me that if you're gonna disturb it, I don't want parts of you. I don't.
no, exactly. No. So, so that being said, now that you kind of, you protect your peace and things like that, what brings you joy besides, that in your life? What brings you joy? Brings me
Hopefully my
joy.
kids, although they already know my grandbaby. That little girl, every time I look at her, or just when she comes over, that's my grandbaby. That
Y'all
brings
gotta
me so
follow on
much
social
joy.
media. We'll put it on out. Like you gotta see she always putting her grandbaby up. Like she's such a adorable little baby, man. You
Yeah,
gotta do the pictures,
we
bro.
right.
She gonna love her picture. When she get older, see these pictures, she look like she'll be a little model too. So
She
she's
gonna be a
amazing.
model. She gonna be something. Yeah, she got an attitude. But no, too, also just it brings me joy watching my kids grow up.
Mhm.
And I'm now in a place that I can do things for them, even though they're grown. I can do things now that I couldn't do before. Like I've gotten this habit of I cook like every day. And people ask me all the time, well, why are you cooking every day? Your kids are grown. I'm like, because that's what I like to do. That's what I want to do. Because guess what? When I was working that 9 to 5, I didn't have that time to cook them no good meals. I didn't have time to spend time with them the way that I can spend time with them now and spend time with my grandbaby. I didn't have those opportunities. So I'm taking advantage of all the opportunities I have now. So I'm very proud of all my kids and they're my joys, all
Yeah,
of them, and that grandbaby.
yeah, man. Once you get the adult and most time your kids, that's pretty much what bring you joy. Let me ask you a question. I never asked. I wanted to know, were your parent, mom and dad, married and stayed together?
They were married but divorced. I don't remember how old I was when they got separated and divorced, but they still had a friendship. You would have never known because my mom met his new girlfriends, and then when they turned into wives, and then my mom, he met my mom's boyfriends, and then when she married them, like it was still he was coming to the family cookouts, he still was coming to the family reunions. Like you would have never known that it was anything there. So I even tried to follow their footstep in my marriage, well, my ex-marriage, is that we're still friends. Even though our kids are grown, we're still friends. We can still have a conversation. I'm still invited to Christmas and I'm still invited to dinners and birthdays and everything else. So it doesn't always have to be something negative when it's a separation and divorce.
No, I think people are. It's not really. I think we make it separated for whatever
Mhm.
you're upset at that person or you just held an animosity. But sometimes you just gotta let go, like, and that's the main thing. But like, just be an adult.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Move on, and hey, you're gonna find somebody else. They're gonna find somebody else. Do you think, far as and well, my parents they're still together right now, but uh why do you think it's a lot? Because your parents got divorced, but and sometimes when you get divorced, like it be a bad split. Then sometimes it's like this one. But do you think that plays a part in your relationship sometimes, or other people's relationship when their parents aren't,
I think
might get
so.
divorced, and if they're not, because I mean I know parents are married to this day, and they still have relationship issues.
Yeah.
But does the structure kind of better when those parents are together? You think do we fall victim sometimes of the same,
I wouldn't say that. I
so
don't
to speak?
think no. I think some people, yes, they do look at their parents and they're like, "Oh, I want a relationship like that. I want to be together with somebody for teen years." But it might not work like that because that might not be in your destination. That might not be your person. That's your rest of the life person. So I don't I don't let how my mom and my dad was like determine how I want my relationships to be or how foresee my future relationships or anything to be like because that was them. This is me. And they were different. Their time was different. Back then it was so different. They didn't have social media. They didn't have all the stuff that we have now. And then their parents raised them differently than the way our parents raised us. So it's or the way we're raising our kids. Let me say that because I feel like we're changing from my age and on down. We're changing things from the way it used to be in that generation. And I would say my mom, she already knows, but like she wasn't raised to say I love you and be very affectionate to the kids. Whereas I noticed that and I said, you know what, when I have my kids, oh, I'm gonna be all over them. And that's how it is. My daughter holds my mom's hand, my sons hold my mom's hand. Everybody's saying we love each other and everything else. But back then that's not how they were raised. But I recognized that and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna do differently. So people have to realize that the way their parents are is not the way we are now. So I wouldn't say I'm a structure a relationship off of my parents.
No, I love that. No, that's textbook, Michelle. I really, really love. Her voice is amazing, isn't it? Like you
Thank
have
you.
like one. No, really, I've heard a lot of voiceovers, and I've been doing voiceovers for years. And you have a distinctive. Hey, you had your first after our, the energy. I was letting her know. I mean, she landed this gig herself, but I think the energy after her voice, and this gives you her more confidence. She has those voiceovers in her back and pitch, everything she needs. So you got. How was your first audition? I'm switching gears a little bit. How was your first? Let the people know your first. Was it an audition or was it a? Tell me.
The lady stood me up.
Oh, what? Hey, but so guess what? So real quick, I'll talk about that real quick. Real quick. You're gonna have those times. So as a voiceover artist, and I told Michelle, guess what? You might do 100 voiceover auditions, and it might be take you 100 to land one. You're gonna get cancellation. Don't let that stop you. Keep pushing, keep rocking and rolling. And like I said, we're gonna have Michelle back. She's amazing. Real quick before we go, all right, I want you to go to town, Michelle. Let everybody know where to find you. The ebook when it's coming out, your social media, all that stuff. The whole now your TikTok is going crazy as well. Give everybody
Yeah.
flying.
My TikTok is Misty 075. I'm also no, I'm sorry. TikTok is Missy MISSY 075. On Instagram, it's Misty MISTY 075. And on Facebook, it's Michelle Hill HILL is the last name. That's all my social medias. Misty and Missy, those are all my personalities. So
Okay, yeah. Also make sure y'all follow her, man. We appreciate y'all for joining us live from the Field Show special edition. Okay. This is all right, episode 7. And much love. We really appreciate having you, Michelle. And hey, you're gonna get a lot of Michelle. She'll be back and on to the next thing. Let's go.